Let's look into the meaning of love through my eyes. A child that knew nothing about love, only what adults taught her from her parents and so on. Love is not just a four-letter word, it's your life and what you want it to be. As a child, I wanted to be loved, taught to love, and grow to love one day. Instead, I was raised in a place of loneliness and confusion, not knowing the meaning of family and love. When a child is brought in this world, it is a mother's job to nurture and love them until they're ready to move out into adulthood. And it's the father's job to protect and also love them as well. When parents don't teach you these things, life begins to evolve into a place of wondering or needing to know the meaning of love. Or maybe somebody accepting this young black child in this crazy world people call life. My childhood was full of loneliness and heartache because I don't think my mother knew how to love. She was born in the 50s and raised in the 60s in a family of nine in Kingston, South Carolina, a two-parent home on a plantation. I don't know much about her, but as we go along in this book, I'll find more out about her childhood. What I do know was she had came from a family of abuse, both physical and sexual. She shared stories growing up in a big family that helped me understand why I went through this in my childhood. My grandmother, my grandfather worked hard to try to provide for them. Growing up in those times, it was racism and prejudice. We were out of control in the South. My mother told us how they had to share lunch in school or went without food because it was hard to feed them all. My mother was the third oldest of nine kids and the second oldest daughter. Being in that position, she wound up caring for a lot of the younger kids. It's very familiar that I was the third oldest, yet cared for my brothers also. So I believe that my childhood in some way looks like hers. But my brothers were all I had. We didn't have a big family. When I begin to think of my past today, I am free from the hurt I felt knowing that God released me from my past. I can give some background on my father of what I know now, but he will also give me input to fill in the gaps in my family history. This story is not to hurt my family, but to help someone who thinks their family secret is worth holding on to when letting go will release a load off your back. Alexandria, where are you? Is all I can hear my mother say in that Bronx apartment. We had a spare bedroom where we played around as children because we couldn't go outside. I was hiding and thinking my brothers were looking for me, and it was my mother. Oh man. She pulled me out of the closet and began to beat on me like I was an adult. She said, the next time I call you, you better come. I was two at the time. And after that, whenever she called, I came. We lived in this place for a little while. After that, it went blank because I went to live with my dad for a year. I remember a little. I remember a lady named Sadie. She treated me like a daughter. With Sadie, I learned a little about a loving parent, even though she was a step parent.